gentlemen. Anyone else?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, sir.
This is Alderman Paff the Sixth. Thank you, sir. I will be in support of this tonight, but I would also just like to make a couple comments in regards to curfew. Back in August, there was a curfew that was ordered out, and for the first 2 to 3 nights, I believe it was not enforced. And I believe that either the third or fourth night it began to be enforced. And I understand that there was quite a ruckus happening in town, and I understand that law enforcement had to get their bearings and the intelligence in terms of what is happening, and looking into this potential and hopefully not occurrences coming up. I'm hopeful that a lot of that pre-planning has already been done. But I would say that because of curfew last time, I firmly believe that had curfew been enforced, I believe that Mr. Kyle Rittenhouse, the incident there, would not have occurred. I feel that Mr. Rittenhouse was attacked on the street, and in defense of his own life, he unfortunately deployed his tools, and unfortunately there was some harm done. So I strongly feel that there was an element of maybe malfeasance on the part of we not forcing that curfew, and I'm hopeful going forward that that is indeed upheld if that is deployed. So I certainly support my constituents, and many of my constituents were certainly frightened back in August, and so I certainly support law enforcement. I support you, Mr. Mayor. So thank you, sir. I yield.
Anyone else? Anyone else? If not,
Mr. Alderwoman Griffin.
Yes, lady from the 7th.
Okay, so my initial thoughts are that if we do nothing, it's a problem, and obviously, a lot of people have problems with the measures, and just like King just said, people assume that we know what the outcome is, and we don't. I want nothing more than no one to get hurt. That's my position. But I do have a concern with the curfew, and it's completely different than it being enforced to the level. My concern is that it's being enforced to the level when people are being peaceful and they are out past curfew and being arrested. So that is a concern as far as protesters still being out protesting after curfew.
Hello?
And I want to know what are we doing differently compared to the last time, because there were people hit with tear gas and rubber bullets that should not have been.
Lady, I think I'm going to ask the city administrator, who has more experience on some of this than I do, to respond to you if he can.
Well, I don't know that I have the response of what they're going to do different. I know that there has been a lot of pre-planning meetings with agencies and different individuals to make sure that those that want to demonstrate or protest peacefully can do that. But there's also been meetings that if the protests turn into violence, whether that be criminal damage to property or arson, that there will be a enforcement effort there. I guess that question of how it will be done differently this time is, I think that this resolution that's in front of you puts that there. As the mayor had spoke, the provisions that he may implement are certainly not set. That will depend on the reaction of the community, where and when and how those prohibitions or regulations, whatever you'd like to call them, restrictions come into play is based on intelligence and facts that would be provided to the mayor's office through the police department or law enforcement services that are here. I think the difference this time, of course, is that we are preparing for a decision. As the mayor had stated, I haven't been informed one way or the other of what that decision is. So you're preparing so we don't fail, because I think that there's some concern there. But I don't know that I can actually tell you how they're going to do things differently. I think that's discussions that have been had with the police department and the agencies that will potentially be assisting if needed.
Lady from the 7th, you have the floor.
Okay. I just have concerns as far as the protection of everybody that chooses to protest, and the protection of the whole city in regards to the decision, just as everybody else do. It's a lot of anxiety going on right now. And I don't think that there is just one clear answer to calm everyone. So at this time, I have no other concerns. Actually, I do want to say that I was under the impression that there will be more, some people had wrote letters that I thought would be read today that I didn't hear in comments.
Okay. We did open it up to a public hearing. We do have letters that were sent out, and those will be attached to the letters were sent to everyone, so they should have received the letters. The documents will be attached to the final determination as we move forward with it. The number of letters that were received were how many?
4.
4. Would you read at least and just to be on make sure that everyone understands, would you read the individuals who made who forwarded the letters to us, so we have those on record, along with the letters themselves, which will be kept on record?
Okay. I will read the ones that did not speak. We had 2.
In this case, read all the names that they spoke. I think
You just want the names?
Just the names. You don't have to read the whole letter. This is just, at this point in time, it is I believe the information that is going to be attached to everything. I believe we should read the names, though.
All right. The first one is Billy Violet. The second one is Molly Collins with the ALCU. And the third one is Joel Trudell. And the final one is Elizabeth Webb.
Okay. Those will all be even though all of you have that information, they'll be added to the information will be attached to the documents.